Ill Nation, what's going on with you guys, man? It's Kill, it's Truth in the building, and today we are talking about the honor code within For Honor. And you know, the very fact that I'm making this video right now is absolutely crazy. The amount of comments that I've gotten in the comment section asking about this, you know, how do you feel about real 2v2s? How do you feel about ganking? How do you feel about popping revenge? How do you feel about this or that? You know, as far as the honor code goes, you know, it's crazy to me because this game has been out for a year and players are still trying to abide by this honor code, or I should say they have the expectation or they have the entitlement to believe that people should play by the honor code. That's what I don't understand. So I've went ahead and written down my thoughts and it reads as follows. But before we get into that, I just want to thank you guys so much for the growth, man. These last few months have been absolutely crazy. I came back and the channel is damn near doubled in size. So if you haven't already, make sure to click that subscribe button and join the family. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the essay, and it reads as follows, you guys. While I won't say that For Honor's players are the first community to establish an honor code within their game, I will say that For Honor's code of ethics is one of the most outlandish codes I've seen in recent memory. The set of unwritten rules players expect one another to follow simply doesn't make sense at times and can leave players in a state of confusion when they see an influx of wows and thanks in the chat section when they happen to break one of the many codes that this game has for some odd reason. I've seen everything from players sending toxic and racist hate messages to players for simply popping revenge in a 1v1, to teammates allowing their partners to get jumped or ganked, as you guys call it, for simply throwing a player off a cliff on a video game where the developers have designed these maps to include these options in the first place. Let's be very clear, Ubisoft have given the players the choice to play this game how they please. I mean, if this wasn't intended, they would have got rid of all the emote spamming, all the ledges, all the traps, the revenge in 1v1s, and all that good stuff if they really didn't intend for this to happen. I just find the entitlement in this game in particular absolutely crazy at times. Players expect one another to choose a hero that they don't mind fighting, to play respectfully and as fair as they see fit in that certain moment, only use moves that they can defend well against, and not switch up their playstyle if they're losing. Let me break this down so it doesn't sound like I'm just speaking absolute nonsense to you guys. Players are expected to play heroes that the community has considered non-toxic. And at this point, this is any heavier Vanguard outside of newly reworked Kensei and Conqueror. Players can also choose the Lawbringer and the Nobushi, as these heroes are the rave of the community and can do no wrong. Choosing any assassin at this point is considered toxic and playing the meta, which could result in your teammate allowing you to be jumped purposely for the sake of their benevolent honor code. Berserker used to be one of the only assassins you can get away with playing, but ever since her rework, she's just as loathed as any other assassin. I've seen Peacekeeper mains receive all type of toxic treatment since this game launched. All because they picked a hero that they thought was cool in a game that they paid $60 for, just like everyone who hates them for it. Once again, the entitlement in this community is completely ridiculous at times, y'all. I get it. Players don't like certain heroes and that's fine. You don't have to like any hero in this game, but the moment you believe it's okay to send someone malicious messages in response to someone playing a video game the way that they see fit, you've allowed yourself to become the problem this community currently faces. You've allowed yourself to hate a digital figment within a virtual world that otherwise will have no impact on your physical life once you turn the console off, so much so that you're willing to potentially hurt someone in real life because of it. And to throw icing on the cake, it's all caused by a game that you yourself or your parents paid $60 for. Now, if I hated something that bad to that level, I would simply stop enabling myself. I would stop interfacing with whatever entity that was causing the issue. But instead, some players in this game expect other players to simply stop enjoying what they purchased because they don't like the hero that they chose to main or the playstyle that they've chosen to embrace. To me, that sounds pretty damn... I'll let you guys be the judge of that. Moving forward, players are expected to duel and brawl in accordance to their opponent's set of rules, and in some cases, even more so than the actual rules Ubisoft have laid out themselves. Let me explain. This game is very intimate. Not romantically intimate, none of that shit. Well, I know some of you guys love Shigoki, but none of that shit. But the level of connection two duelists share is uncanny. You're pitted against someone for a best of 5 round fight to the death, where rounds alone can last 1 to 3 minutes each. This can result in some highly intense, adrenaline pumping close fights. Anyone that's come out on top of a round 5 jaw dropper with 1 HP can attest to that. So with matches being so long and immersive, players have adopted a set of rules that can't be broken, for lack of a better term. One of which is you're not allowed to ledge your opponent or otherwise secure the win in a fashion that your opponent considers cheap or not earned. Not only are you supposed to win, but you're supposed to do so using moves that your opponent considers fair and okay to use. Let's break down why this is so ridiculous in itself. Let's say that me, you, and 2 friends are playing a game of Uno. I have around 25 cards in my hand and you've managed to get down to 1 card. With the taste of victory on your lips, you quickly yell out "Uno!" And to my advantage, I have the swap hands card in my arsenal, and I quickly trade hands with you for the win in a crazy upset. As fucked up as that sounds, I didn't play fair, nor did I follow my opponent's code of ethics. I simply won the game by any means. Does this make me a toxic Uno player? Not in the least bit. In fact, this is the way the game was meant to be played. The same behavior should be seen in For Honor. Players are meant to win by any means, whether that's getting thrown off a ledge, thrown into a trap. Players are fighting to the death, and if a ledge toss will hasten victory, then players have the right to use that to their advantage. A win is a win, and if players are willing to do what it takes to win within the rules the developers have laid out, then there's nothing else to really discuss on this topic, honestly. Players have absolutely no say in what their opponent does in order to beat them. That's like me and you getting into a snowball fight and me telling you how often and how fast you can hit me with snowballs, while I just throw them as I see fit in that moment. Players of For Honor have to realize that they have no say in how the other players play in general. If they want to play meta, they can. If players want to ledge, they can. If they want to gank and brawl, they can. And there's nothing you can do about it except the fact that this will continue to happen and choose to continue to play, or understand that this will continue to happen and choose to stop playing as frequently as you've done, or if at all. I mean, don't get me wrong, I get it. It sucks when you're about to land that final blow to kill your opponent and that damn shaman pops revenge to save their life and winds up killing you with it. But it's the way the devs have chosen to design the game, for better or worse. And as long as it's within their rules or regulations, players have the option to play in such a manner the community has deemed toxic. But is it really toxic? Or is the player's reaction rage and reprisal towards another player for playing the game freely and without the community's entitlements and restraints the actually true source of toxicity that is ever so prevalent within For Honor? All in all, I'm with the honor junkies for the most part. I mean, I don't gank, I don't ledge, I'll hold my revenge when I'm about to die and accept my fate. But the difference is I understand fully that my opponent doesn't have to abide by these rules at any point and can play the game however they want to. And I have to accept this risk every time I queue up for a match. And I'm okay with this because at this point, I'm more into playing the game for the sake of playing the game and going to play other games after my few rounds of For Honor are over for the week. This game is over a year old, and Season 5 has been the driest season by far in my opinion as far as content. So I won't allow a game to be the catalyst to help me achieve a new low of toxicity and hate within a community that otherwise has showed me nothing but love since I started making these videos. My father has always told me in order to achieve a better understanding of someone, you have to see their perspective of things, and that's exactly what I'm trying to do. And I will continue to do so as this channel grows and new games and circumstances arise. So there you guys have it. And I've been reading the comments, and a lot of you guys want my free thoughts as well as these scripts, or some guys just want my free thoughts in general. So I'll go ahead and add that at the end of my these essays. So with this topic, you know I probably pissed a lot of people off. Oh, you're not following the code. You know, this is the code of the game. You know, it's bullshit. But just go ahead and vibe with me for a minute. Like, and what I mean by vibe is go ahead and try to understand where I'm coming from. Like, this game is a year old at this point, and it's very clear that, you know, this game is going to be what it's going to be, and we have to accept that. You know, like, we all play this game, we all love this game. You know, we've been riding for it for a whole year. Well, some a year, you know, some just got into the game, or whatever, I digress. It's to the point now where we have to accept this game for what it is. And this honor code thing that's been going around since the betas of this game, it's like, while I abide by it, like, I don't gank or any of that shit, I can't honestly expect other people to abide by it. You know, like, it's stagnant, it's boring at this point. Sitting there consistently in a brawl waiting for your opponent to finish fighting, it's like, I can understand why someone would think that that's boring and they would want to spice it up just for the sake of spicing it up, you know what I mean, and just going and ganking or whatever you guys want to call it, playing quote unquote real 2v2s. I think that whole idea is stupid within itself. It's like a 2v2 is just two people versus two people, however you play it. But nonetheless, I think the whole idea behind it is just crazy. Like, to just sit here and think that you're entitled to playing in any way, shape, or form because you bought the game is the same way as anyone else. So I'm more or less just open to anyone playing this game or however they feel like playing it, you know. And if they play in a despicable way, or what I would consider a despicable way, and I just don't want to entertain that, I'll finish my match with them and leave. You know what I mean? I understand like you'll get matched up with the same person sometimes in this game, but nonetheless I will attempt to leave the situation, because it's like, if I don't want to deal with that, I'll just leave. I won't send them no toxic messages or go out of my way to make it as unenjoyable because I'm not having a good time. It's a video game, and excuse me, and I think that is the message that I want to give out the most here, is that this is a video game at the end of the day. This is nothing more, nothing less, but nothing more than a game. And I understand that it's so intimate, that you get so immersed into these matches. You know, you have a competitive nature, so when people do things like this, it could frustrate you. But I think if you can just take time and just realize that a loss in this game does not equal doesn't equal like you can't pay your rent. You know what I'm saying? You can't pay your rent. Your babies ain't gonna eat, you know what I mean? You're gonna fail that test in college or whatever you're doing in your life, man. As soon as you turn off this system, as soon as you turn off that console, turn off that PC, it goes away, you know what I mean? So I think if you could take time to understand that you'll be better off, and you'll have a clearer head. And when people gank you or pop revenge or whatever, throw you into a trap, whatever, you'll be able to take it better, you know what I'm saying? But that's just my thoughts on it. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section down below. As you guys know, I read them and interact with you guys, you know. So with that being said, I guess the question of this video is, how do you guys feel about the honor code making its way into year 2? Because I honestly didn't expect it to. I expected it to not make it past the beta. You know, I expected people to play like that in the beta, and then it become the norm to play regular 2v2s within the early launch of the game. But that hasn't happened. Like, literally guys have been doing 1v1s in brawls since the game launched, and that's crazy to me. But nonetheless, I'm gonna get out of here, you guys. Make sure to drop a like if you enjoyed the discussions. As always, be sure to turn on post notifications, subscribe if you're new. Once again, my name is illogical, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace to the world, peace to the earth, ladies and gentlemen. We out, man. That's a wrap. Peace, y'all.